a new experiment in GTA 5. Today we will test which car can drive through water bumps. And each time they get bigger and bigger, but it becomes more and more difficult to drive through them. So watch until the end, give a like, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new experiments.
Hi guys! As always, your favorite little penguin Koki is here with you.
With a new experiment where we'll find out how far cars can go across the water bumps. So today, I've put together a unique collection of rocket-powered cars. That's why today we're only gonna test the most overpowered cars in GTA 5. We've got Lambos, fast supercars, even mini rockets, Batmobiles, and giant monster trucks with turbo boosters. So make sure to watch the video all the way to the end, and of course, don't forget to hit that like button. We have tons of these experiments on the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new awesome videos. So today, we've got a really unique collection made up entirely of jet-powered cars. And I say, let's not waste any time and jump right into our tests. Today, every car will make it to the finish line because they're super overpowered. Let's start with the most basic car, this BMX. It's not even a car, it's just a bike. A real one too. And today we're gonna ride across real water bumps with the distance between them getting bigger and bigger. Basically, you already know all this. If you're subscribed to the channel, you know what's up. I don't need to explain anything. But if you're not subscribed, then how is that even possible? So go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. Seriously, that's just not okay. You can't not be subscribed. That's impossible. So even on a BMX, we've already made it to the orange level. Can you believe it? And we're just cruising through it easily. Look, I'm not even jumping. Seriously. Are our cars really so overpowered today that I'm just breezing through everything? Seriously, hold on. A BMX can even jump high. I love that. We even flew right past the finish line. That took literally 10 seconds and we're already at the finish line. Seriously, is everything really gonna be this easy today? Well, that really was fast. Let's move on to the next car, though I think we'll get through it even quicker. Jet-powered cars. In this challenge, they'll make it to the finish line in no time, just like that. Look, we turn on the boost, and I won't even have to touch this challenge. Just look at that. This is honestly kinda unfair to these water bumps, because I feel like we're just gonna breeze through everything today. Watch this, we hit the boost and just blast off into space. How long did that take? It took 5 seconds. I barely even touched the water bumps. And that's it, we're at the finish line. Can you imagine how easy this is? Seriously? Looks like for this challenge, we should only be testing cheat cars, the jet-powered ones. They handle it super easily. So yeah, both cars today made it to the finish line. That was pretty easy, if you ask me. And honestly, I don't even know if I like it or not. Because seriously, it looks like today, every single car is gonna make it to the finish line, since they're all jet-powered and super fast. And that's kinda cool, but at the same time, it kinda defeats the purpose of the experiment if you ask me. Because really, it's just way too easy. Look, here we have the third jet-powered car in a row. This is the Scramjet. It doesn't have just one turbo booster, it has 2. It also comes with miniguns. And this car can jump. It's a real car. James Bond's car. Agent 007's. So I guess that makes me Agent Penguin. Alright, so here we go. Full acceleration. Look, what are we doing? Jump and boost straight into space. That's it, I feel like we're gonna make it to the finish super easy. We'll fly right to the finish and not even feel a thing. Wait, we're falling. Careful. Whoa, okay. Looks like we've got some problems after all. Perfect, the main thing is not to drown. The main thing is not to drown. Alright, perfect. We're just landing now. Let's use the jump too. Come on, perfect, perfect. Now we're just gonna jump all the way to the finish line. That's it, just one final jump left. 1, 2, 3, boom, and we're at the finish, even without turbo boost. I think I could even go back if I wanted to. That would be something else. Easy, watch this. 1, 2, 3.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Although, looking at this collection of cars right now, it seems to me that absolutely all of them will be able to make it like that today. But wait, hold on, we actually have a Formula 1 car and a regular Ferrari without turbo boost. Alright, now this is actually going to be really interesting to test. By the way, besides testing jet cars, we also tested something else in this experiment, real off-road vehicles. And they actually did really well too, by the way. They handled it. Then there are those cheat cars that can fly and jump. We even tested supercars like this Ferrari. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure to check out the channel and watch those awesome experiments. Now let's activate the boost and try to take on this challenge in the Lambo. I think this one's gonna be a bit tougher because the Lambo only has turbo boost. In other words, it can't jump or fly or anything like that. So just turbo boost. But that's actually a huge advantage because we can just take off, jump, and almost fly over the whole mat. The most important thing is not to land in the water, because if water gets into the turbo booster, that's it. It stops working and the car is not going to go any further, 100%. But so far, everything is perfect. We're doing it just right. Come on, perfect. Okay, just a little bit, stop, easy, stop. Perfect. Acceleration's working, but I think we can make it without the turbo boost. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, perfect. Come on, let's go, underwater. No? You serious? Well, yeah. Looks like we really did need the turbo boost after all. We would have needed it. But I think, overall, we can pretty much count this car. How much is left here? Only 5 meters to the finish line. Well, yeah, almost. Just a little bit more. Well, besides jet cars, we've also got regular supercars and cars with superpowers. For example, the Ruiner 2000. And it doesn't have a turbo boost, as you might have noticed. But it does have rockets, real ones. That too. The so-called James Bond car, Agent Penguin. By the way, it can also jump, but it has a parachute, and that's a huge plus. It's a shame, of course, that it doesn't have a turbo boost. We'll have to jump over bumps like this and really test the suspension. And considering it's just a regular sedan, or actually a coupe, there are definitely going to be some problems here. But if we jump and activate the parachute, it'll be so much better. That's what I really like about cars with superpowers. They can really surprise you. I mean, regular supercars just drive through like this, and then they'll just sink somewhere in the middle of a level, and that's it. Here, we can speed up, use the jump, and just easily fly through 2 whole levels, just with the parachute. Now that's really awesome. The main thing is not to hit a seagull along the way. And look, there's a seagull. Hey seagull, come here. Alright, I'm just kidding. Let's land carefully. Whoa. Oh, the most important thing is not to drown because this is already the red level. And here, it's actually really dangerous now. All right, 1, 2, 3, jump, parachute, and on to the purple level. I hope we'll make it there now. Maximum acceleration, come on, just a little bit more. Will it work or not? Seagull, health, don't get in the way, careful. Okay, we're landing. Stop. No. Whew, I almost drowned. Okay, jump, and here, we're just flying through this part. Super easy, no problem at all. That's already the 4th car at the finish line, or 4.5 if you count the Lambo. So it turns out, we really did it. We've collected almost the whole set at the finish line. I really like that, honestly. Let's go test the next cars. Here we've got all sorts of jet cars lined up, but right now I'm really curious to test out the Formula car, because I have a feeling it probably won't make it to the finish line. It's just way too low. And for this challenge, we need a car that's fast, like a Formula car, but also tall enough. Because see, it's already catching on the green level. On the very first level, it starts dragging in the water. And that's actually a big problem. I don't even think we'll make it to the orange level, honestly. It's really gonna be tough. Well, alright, I'll at least give it a try. See, it's already starting to get stuck. That's honestly just a huge problem with cars like this. That's it, it's sunk. Alright, okay. Yeah, but we actually did make it to the orange level. We did it, almost. Meanwhile, let's get back to our rocket cars. A little rocket vault, and by the way, this car is straight out of GTA 5. So this car is actually in the standard game. If you've ever played GTA, did you really notice that there's a rocket car like this in there? There is. You could drive it around, accelerate, fly around, and do whatever you wanted. But today, we're testing it with our experiment. The main thing is, it flies through. The key is not to sink. Well yeah, and it falls apart just as quickly. We've already lost the bumpers and the wings. Well, it's okay, no big deal. Full throttle. The main thing is, the turbo boost still works for now. It doesn't matter how intact the car is when it reaches the finish, right? The most important thing is that it actually makes it. Come on, carefully. Stop. Phew, perfect. We've got literally 2 levels left. We're going full speed ahead. And let's go, whoa, that's it. We made it to the finish line together. By the way, for some reason today only. Orange cars, orange, yellow, I think, or maybe it's just a coincidence. Anyway, let's go test the next cars. I feel like the next jet cars will also make it to the finish line easily. Whoa, what's this lineup of supercars? Look, it seems like we've got another supercar. It's the Bugatti Bolide. Oh wait, no, it's not a regular Bugatti Bolide. It also has turbo acceleration. Alright, so I suggest we start by testing the worst car first. Well, okay, not the worst. This is a real Ferrari. It's tuned, fast, and cool, but it doesn't have turbo acceleration. Yeah, this is exactly the supercar class. So it will test a small selection of supercars. See, this shows just how different jet cars are from supercars. We're already starting to get stuck on the very first level. I think this Ferrari will match the previous Formula 1 car, give or take, up to the orange level. Then that's it. We're gonna start. We're gonna start having major problems, and we probably won't make it to the finish line, although who knows. Let's try to do it perfectly. So far, we've gone farther than the Formula car. Okay, I like that. At least it's not the worst car today. Oh yeah, so what if the bumper flew off, the hood flew off, and now look, the door's about to come off too. The most important thing is to make it to the red level. We need to reach the red level. Please, perfect. So far, it's perfect. The car is completely submerged underwater, but it still makes it through. If you noticed, none of the supercars with turbo boosters did that. Here, the car is completely submerged underwater, and we've actually been driving for half a day already. This is all part of the test. Now we're about to sink too. Well, that's it. Our car's journey ends here. It just stalled right in the middle of the red level, and that's it. There's no way it'll make it to the finish now. Well, there are fewer and fewer cars left, but at the same time, the cars are getting cooler and cooler, and more unusual too. The main thing is, you look at it and think, wow, it's a Bugatti, right? Super cool. But it even has a starting boost. Yeah, really. Its suspension is just like a real supercar. Seriously. But there's one little problem. I'm stuck, that's it. And the acceleration is actually working, seriously. Come on, push it. Forward, back, left, right, guys. I think we all got stuck, seriously. So how many bumps are there on the first level? 3 water bumps? Looks like we've got a bit of a problem. It's not going any further. Alright, let's just go and try out the next car. Honestly, I could have expected anything. But for us to only make it over 3 bumps and then have our rocket car stop completely, I definitely didn't expect it to sink like that. Okay, it didn't sink, it just got stuck. But because the suspension is so low, it just couldn't get out. Alright, good thing we've still got a whole bunch of rocket cars left. And you see, you'd think rocket cars are super powerful, super fast. But even among all the rocket cars, there are some that get stuck and can't make it through this challenge. Even though at first, I thought this would be super easy. And that every single car would make it, all the way to the finish today. But you see this, it's not like that. So even some of the cheat cars can't get through certain challenges, and that's exactly what makes it so interesting to test out these unusual classes of cars. But you and I are easily flying through. Gate 1, 2, 3, all still intact. 7 cars at the finish line, let's move on to the next one. But we only have 5 cars left, so I suggest we get started. And speaking of the Batmobile, by the way, write in the comments who your favorite superhero is, because I just love Spider-Man. I watched Spider-Man all throughout my childhood. He's probably one of my absolute favorite superheroes. I also really like Iron Man, and probably Hulk too, because he's super strong. And I know that a lot of people like Batman, and some might even like the Joker. Confess in the comments, seriously. It'll be really interesting to read. But right now, we're trying to get through the orange level in the Batmobile with the turbo booster. I hope we can pull it off, because the Batmobile itself, it's pretty heavy, but its booster is also super powerful. That's why we're already at the red level. The most important thing is not to fall into the water. Okay, perfect landing, and straight to the finish line. Look, now, I really thought it was gonna get stuck just now, like our previous Bugatti Bolide did. Alright, seagull out of the way, now we're gonna knock it down. Okay, perfect landing right at the finish line. So, we have our first black car at the finish, by the way. Before it was a white Racket, now it's the black Batmobile. Perfect, that's it. We kind of broke the strategy a bit. Now, there aren't just orange and yellow cars at the finish line, and the last supercar for today is this one. This Lambo looks super unusual, but okay. No, wait, I got it mixed up. It actually looks pretty normal, except for the fact that there's a real rocket on the roof. Let's go. And by the way, I think that even though some cars get stuck and don't make it to the end, it doesn't really matter. A pretty large number of cars have already made it to the finish line today, and there's still a whole bunch left at the start. So I think this was actually way too easy. I mean, jet-powered cars handle this challenge pretty easily. We need to test something else. You know, like supercars, for example? I feel like some supercars might get stuck right at the very beginning, like our previous Bugatti with turbo boost. Some supercars should make it to the finish line because they're really fast. But some of them might just get stuck somewhere and never make it through at all. So let me know in the comments which car collections you want to see tested in this tough experiment. Maybe off-road vehicles? Maybe just police cars? We probably won't test the cheat cars because most likely they'll all make it to the finish line. Well, or we can test them if you want, so leave your suggestions in the comments. I'll definitely read every comment and give it a heart, and we'll test out the car collection you want to see. But this is a Bugatti Lambo, it's a Lamborghini. Our Bugatti got stuck and definitely can't make it to the finish line, but this Lambo actually does make it to the finish, so it ends up passing all the challenges. Alright, we've got 3 cars up next. I suggest we start with the biggest one. Well, okay, it's not the biggest, but at least it's the most unusual and the heaviest. You might look at it and say, okay, it's just a regular garbage truck. But I'm telling you, no, this is a garbage truck with a turbo booster. Can you imagine? Even a turbo booster. You can actually put one on a garbage truck. That's honestly pretty hilarious. It's really funny. I actually really like it. Except for the fact that we could just get stuck like this. That's definitely a huge downside of the garbage truck. It's really heavy for this challenge, and I feel like we might not even make it to the finish line. That's a real possibility, because this garbage truck, what kind of parking is this? It's like a new parking lot. See, it's stuck, exactly what I meant. We're totally stuck, and the turbo screen won't activate. The wheels spin, but the truck won't move. We only made it to level 4 before getting stuck. Alright, 2 cars left. This one's interesting to test because of all the jet cars, I think this turbo rocket is the most powerful. Well, at least that is exactly how it looks from my perspective right now, and I honestly think it should be able to reach the finish line in no time at all if everything goes right. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, maximum acceleration, let's go! Uh-oh. Oh no. Wait a minute. Oh. What is happening right now? Wait, we can just fly off into space just like that? Was that really possible? We're really just flying into space like we're on a rocket. Seriously? So look, that's our challenge over there. See how tiny it is? And we're already flying toward Chiliad? Seriously? Wait, you could actually do that? So what, are we just gonna fly to the moon or the sun next? That's cool. So does that mean we get one more car at the finish, or what? Is the finish over there? And we're here. Well, whatever. I think we can still count this car. Hehe, 100%. Alright, and the last car for today is the super giant Ferrari. And you might say, that's a supercar or a monster truck, but I'll tell you, no, just take a look at this. Acceleration, Ferrari, and monster truck. 3 in 1. So it's a Ferrari with a monster truck turbo booster. Have you ever seen anything like this? I bet 100% you haven't. And I think, even without the turbo boost, we can breeze through this whole challenge, no problem. Look, bam, perfect, purple level. I'm not even accelerating, that's it. In fact, I'm actually braking so I don't overshoot this challenge. Yeah, that's exactly how it turned out. Full acceleration. Let's take off and clear this whole experiment. That was honestly really awesome. I loved it. I hope you did too, and that you laughed at least once during this episode. Don't forget to hit like and of course subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, because today we tested real jet cars on water bumps. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget the bell, once again. And don't miss out. New awesome experiments with all kinds of cars. Well, as always, it was me, your favorite penguin, and we'll see each other again. Bye-bye.